Oh, okay. I'm going to start making this web show. Well, just on YouTube. It's nothing like big or anything. It's not like comedy. It's kind of sad. It's gonna be called The Teen Life. It's where you guys are gonna send me your story life, like the story of your life, and well, if you want me to read it and you want me to post it right here. Um, on MySpace, these girls already sent me some, and I've read them. And I'm gonna start with this girl named Jane. Um, she, it's sad. Okay, here it goes. Um, just let me get it up. This is Jane's story. Okay, I'm gonna read what she says. Okay, okay. This is what she wrote. Like, the title is Jane's story, and this is how it happened. Okay. My journey to hell and back began 12 years ago. I met him and he moved in next door to me. We became friends, and later he moved in with me and we became an item. He had me hook, line, and sinker, a real charmer. He was a rebel, and life became fast and exciting. Parties, dancing, drinking, and then more drinking. I didn't see it coming. We were out with some of his mates, and he had been drinking all day, and then his old girlfriend arrived. I was upset because he sat on her knee and kissed her. So I went to sit in the car. He came bellowing over, so I locked the door. He put his fist through the passenger window, he then dragged me through it. After receiving a punch in the head, one of his friends drove me home. At home, I tended to my sore head, scrapes and bruises, but what hurt most was that it happened at all. The next day, when he arrived at the flat, he was full of remorse. Things would be different. He wouldn't drink, and he would never hurt me again. I believed him. Things do improve for a while. Soon I discovered I was pregnant. I seemed He seemed over the moon with the news. A few months later, he came home drunk, and after arguing, he punched me in the stomach. I ended up in the hospital with a ruptured cyst. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Right there, where was it? On my ovary. The baby was alright. Returning home, I gave him an ultimatum. He made his mates or me. He chose me. However, after our baby was born and the drinking continued and the abuse continued, I stayed as I could not see a way out. Brief times, damn, this girl knows how to talk good. Damn. Brief times when he was sober, things seemed pleasant. My way of life became moving from one house to another with him. As people became aware of my situation, the domestic abuse. Although I had learned to hide the bruises and he was good at not leaving them where they could be seen, over the years I took out several intervention orders on him, which I then dropped. When he made his promises and sometimes even threats against me, on our child's birthday he received a gold sentence of several months for drinking, driving, and assault on a police officer. He still didn't leave. During his time in jail, it was jail. I visited often. He made more promises. No more drinking, no more abuse. When he left jail, things were great for a while, and I hope that his time in jail had changed him. I got pregnant again, this time with twins. When I was pregnant, we moved again, this time to be closer to his family, as I was going to need help and support with the twins on the way. This was a move I should never have made. His father also had a drinking problem. They were a bad influence on each other. Where was I? Oh. During my pregnancy, he abused me and again and again. Another time pulled a kitchen knife on him and he laughed, as he knew I would not use it. Then he spat in my face. There were times when he was at the hotel with his parents. I would pray that someone would knock on my door and tell me he was dead, rather than face him coming home. I was trapped. The only people I knew were his family. I had no way out. Once our new babies were born, things remained the same. I looked after the children. He went to the hotel or to smoke dope with a mate. Life was, though, tough, and often there was no money for food. I stopped eating, so what we had would go further. As long as he had his beer, he didn't care. He would complain when the babies cried and tell me to shut them up or else. Every day I lived in fear, never knowing what his mood would be. One day I left him to care for the twins so I could collect our eldest child from daycare. I returned home to find one of the twins was cold and shaking. I was horrified. It turned out they had a dirty nappy and he had put them in the bath with a cold shower running. In the middle of winter, a few weeks later, when I went to collect one of the twins from her cot, I found she had a blanket was over her, and a shawl was wrapped around her head and shoved in her mouth. Quickly I removed it and she gasped for breath. I was shocked and angry. How could he do this to his own child? I confronted him and rang his parents for help. When his parents arrived, his father was drunk, saying, "It's all right, son. I know she's bullshitting." He swung a few punches at me, then left to go to his parents for the night. I was distraught and frightened and knew I was to protect my children. I found the phone book and looked under domestic violence in front. I got several phone numbers. I started with the first. The first few refuge I rang were full and I asked if I could wait. Finally, I rang a Salvation Army refuge and an elderly man answered. I don't know how he understood me though. Many sobs as I tried to tell my story. He said, not now, tell me when you get here. Do you need help? How soon can you get here?" My reply, "We are on our way." I grabbed my box of photo albums, a garage bag of clothes for the children, and myself, a loyal friend many a years, and we left. Driving early that morning, I did not like I had been every day. For the last 5 years, the eggshells I had been threading on were gone. My children could cry and I didn't have to judge them. I was determined to turn my life around. And then life was great. 14 months later, after I trusted the wrong person, he contacted me. He pleaded with me to believe that he had changed. He'd been to counseling, anger management, etc. Yeah, and that's it. There's like a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's too long. Damn. Okay, so there's more and upcoming soon. Thank you. Bye.